Hello and welcome to Universal Love Law. Today I have a video for you all, okay? So first and foremost, I wanted to make this video as a demo for those who are interested in joining the study group, okay? So I am creating a study group that is of no cost for now, because as I grow in ascend in my consciousness, eventually the game will be meant to be sold and not told, because it will be certain levels of information that you have to appreciate through the form of energy exchange, right? And so, as I invest in my studies and my road to mastery, right, my Christ consciousness, then I, have to invest in that. Some information is very, it's sacred, and we respect some things that are sacred, right? We respect it, so there it's a cost for that. Anyways, so I am going to start the study group not this Sunday, which will be the last Sunday of the month, but it will actually begin in July, the last Sunday of July. Okay, I had to reschedule this one because it's my son's birthday next week. So, and when people actually watch this, it might be after the last Sunday of June. So it doesn't matter. So you guys just know that the study group will be focused and centered around spirituality, and we will be developing our understanding of universal laws, and we're going to focus on the Hermetic principles. Okay, so each the last Sunday of each month, you can join the study group with the access code that I give to you. If you'd like that, you can email me, or you can click the link in below that I'm going to create to sign up for the study group. The time zones are different. I'm Pacific Standard, so I'm going to be starting at 12, but wherever time you are, I will put the time zone for Eastern Standard and for different time zones, because I get different clients. A lot of people, they're from a lot of different places around the world, right? So yeah, each one teach one. Whoever is led to me is not because of just race or gender. It's a divine or spiritual vibrational match. So, for instance, some of the future study groups that we have will be talking about things that I will not be sharing on YouTube, okay? It's going to be private, and take advantage of it while it is at no cost, okay? So this is going to be a focus on, and if you see me look down, I have notes and I have my laptop. This is going to be a focus on the Hermetic principle of Correspondent, which is the second Hermetic principle, okay? If you're wondering, I have my crystals here. This one was gifted to me, and this one is agate, Arizona agate, and it's good for mental stimulation, okay? Okay, and this one is for my mental clarity, right? So we're going to talk about the third Hermetic law, which is the law of correspondence. So I hope this can be seen. And you might not be able to see the words, but the picture that I'm going to show you guys from the way I teach things, right, will be visual for you guys, okay? So we're going to talk about the law of correspondence. So some of you guys might already know what the law of correspondence is. I don't want to spell this wrong. Correspondence. Yes, I got it all up there. So we're doing the law of correspondence today, and so you guys might know what that means. This is where we get the cross, okay? As above, so below. As within, so without. Okay, so we have our up, down, up, down, okay, in and out. Okay, so this is a very important in your spiritual journey. This is what my foundation was created on, Universal Love Law. I created this platform on understanding universal laws to empower yourself as you are developing your gifts and your spiritual awareness. A lot of people don't understand, like, the law of mentalism, right? All is mind. That is a powerful one. What we will do in the study group. I wanted to start with something very simple, like the law of correspondence, because it will help people to understand things through visual aid. Symbolism is what connects us to our right brain, and it's what is able to tap us into the synchronicities. All things in higher realms are merely math, okay, in their symbolism. Sacred geometry is symbolism, right? 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. We're going to talk about that today, okay? That create carbon. All things are created. We're carbon beings, right? And so as above, so below. We're going to put this into perspective, okay? So remember, Universal Love Law is a channel where we discuss information on, we implement science and mathematics into our understanding, right? This is the energy of Metatron, right? And this is what my channel is founded on, universal laws, okay? So the law of correspondence. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to pull into to teach you guys how the law of correspondence works. I wanted to utilize the 7 planes, okay, of existence. So 7 planes of existence. So first, we have our lower planes of existence. I'm going to write them as a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too big. Hold on, guys. Let me erase that. I love that I'm able to work with people like, like it's a school setting. I wish I could do this in person. If it's in my will, let thy will be done to have a school or like a place where we could do these things physically. I'm going to be old school. I'm getting a chalkboard or a whiteboard. So, but I'm glad we can still do it this way too. So let's write those over a little bit neater. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have 7 planes of existence. So it's so important for us to put in perspective what the universe is, how it functions and operates, and what source is, right? What created us and the foundation. So we'll start off with the first, then we'll move to the second, and then the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. So we can understand as above where source is. So I'll put source here. Source. This is source here, okay? Source is here. On the 7th plane of existence, okay? And we're just gonna just do it this way because there's many dimensions. We could get it really scientific, but no, we're not gonna like blow our heads up today. We're just going to kind of elevate our minds and elevate our ability to think clearly or critically with just 7 planes. So first and foremost, we have our first plane of existence. So this is where there is inorganic matter, right? All things physical. So we're going to put the physical world here. My gates. Okay. So these are the things that are in the world that are vibrating at a very low frequency, okay? The lower the frequency, the slower the vibration, okay? The atoms, the molecules are moving slower in the first plane of existence. And as we ascend to higher states where we are currently, these are the people. Hey, we're on the fourth. I already see I'm going to be going out of order. That's okay. So this is where we get the concept that we are fourth dimensional beings, right? We're fourth dimensional beings. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So there's a veil. A veil. This is the veil. Let's write veil. This is the veil that people can see past, okay? We're fourth dimensional beings, but on the very first dimension, this is where inorganic materials are formed, okay? So we have here, if you guys can see, you might not be able to see me that much because I kind of want to just focus on this, okay? So in the very first plane of existence, these are where our elements are, okay? This is where we get the periodic table, okay? So let's see, elements, okay? The elements. So what are elements made of? Atoms. Atoms. Okay? We have the atoms that are in the first dimension, right? We have inorganic materials, okay? So we have the solids, boom, 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 all in the first. I'm going to change the color when we move to the second, okay? But the very first plane of existence, we have these things here. Here we have slower moving molecules. Hopefully you guys can see that. This is the slower moving molecule atoms that exist on the earth plane, okay? And we see these things, we see things in this first plane of existence as the very simple organisms, or not even organisms yet, okay? The organisms come to life in the second plane of existence where there is organic matter. Remember, the inorganic matter are the atoms and elements that make up the compound Earth, right? The protons, neutrons, and electrons, that is source energy, right? That create the carbon, that makes the molecules vibration, right, is what creates the first plane of existence. Below, in correspondence, below, this is where it is, right? When we move up to the second plane of existence is where we have life that is organic, meaning it is mortal, okay? We have mortal energy, okay? We have trees. We have plants. Trying to get my art skills happening here. All right, look at that flower. Okay. So yeah, we have our organic. Let me see. Let me get my black. Organic. No. I don't want to use that. Let's just use green. So we have Ooh. No. Sorry guys, I probably should have drew my drawing over there, but we have you probably can't see me. Organic. Boom. We have organic material here on the second plane of existence. One may call this or perceive this as the second dimension, where there is elemental beings, right? This is where you hear the spiritualists talk about the the elemental beings, or the fairies, right? Those little tiny things that we see flying. Loving the energy of the earth, right? Organic materials, okay? So after we ascend from this realm or this plane of existence is where we have protein-based um, life beings, okay? So for this one, I will use black. I'll use blue, yes. So here's where we have protein. Okay? So what is protein? We have animals, okay? In the on the third plane, okay? We have our animals. We have life. That's my little dog. Okay? So here on the third plane of existence is where we actually have our protein life organisms, okay? And in this plane of existence is where consciousness is formed in the form of intelligence. So not only do we have our animal protein based beings, right? This is where we correspond science and math into the creation, okay? It all corresponds now as we are, making sense of this Hermetic law or this universal law, as above, so below. Now we get to see what that means. So we're moved from the first plane of existence, right, where atoms and solids create and formulate the organisms that are organic, that eventually evolve and correspond to the third plane of existence where there are consciousness, right? So let's put emotions, okay? Emotions. Emotion is a consciousness that exists in the third plane of existence. It's where it evolved. Organic matter elements like plants and things, they don't have the same consciousness as a higher level being that exists in the third plane of existence, right? This is why we see animals that are, animals that have emotion, right? Logic is formed here. There is that, we have logic in the third plane of existence. We also have our survival skills. Survival skills. We also have that fight or flight or freeze, right? These correspondence of the mind and how we operate in that, okay? So after we evolve from the third plane of existence where we understand emotion exists, we understand logic, we understand survival, fight or flight, we understand our animal instinct, okay? I want to write that, animal instinct. Animal instinct. We have all of that on the third plane of existence. Now, when we evolve up higher to the fourth plane of existence is where we're corresponding. And as you know, the atoms, right, that make up the molecules from the first plane of existence is all correlated and corresponds to source energy. That neutron, proton, electrons, the life force that creates us all carbon beings, right? The molecules vibrate faster. Vibration is energy, okay? So there is vibration in the energy, but there's frequency. So the lower the frequency, the slower the moving molecule, the denser it is. Okay? First plane of existence is in the third dimension, where we are here on Earth. Okay? Where the molecules are physical and can be seen because they're all vibrating at a slower frequency. So much to where the solids, where the atoms that make everything physical, right? This is science. The atoms that make everything physical is what creates the space in between space that creates the physical, tangible objects. So the lower in density, the lower in frequency, the lower and the slower the moving of the atoms. Okay. So the molecules are what makes the life force, right? We know the protons, neutrons, and electrons, the life force, right? That exists in all of our cells, in all of our blood, all of these things, right? So, all right, let's keep moving forward. When we're talking about the fourth plane of existence, we are here. This is where the humans are. And this is actually, people don't know, the spirit realm. Okay, this is the spiritual plane. Okay. So the thing about the fourth plane of existence is where human beings is. Okay, where we are. It's the spirit realm. The fourth dimension is where we can connect life and death. Right. We have our life. Our living beings, the beings that are alive, right? When we have the death as well, right? We have in the fourth plane of existence, there's life, there's death, there's the spirit realm. We're here in between the third and fourth because we're still physical. But as we move into fourth, this is, right? Because humans are here on the third, physical beings that we can see due to the atoms and the molecules vibrating to create our solid beings, right? But the carbon, which is proton, neutron, electron, that 666 they warn you about in the Bible, that create carbon, the element of carbon that gives us life force, that gives us our breath to breathe, right? That is in all, okay? That is created from seventh plane of existence source to the first plane of existence source, right? So we have the fourth dimension is the spirit realm. We are here, okay, because we're all spirit beings, regardless if we, are, whatever spirit it is that we have, right? I talked before about the spirit of misery, which is a principality that is created actually in the higher dimensions, but it exists and has authority within the third and fourth dimension. Misery, okay? So this is when we're talking about principalities. This is what spiritual teachers are discussing and talking about, right? The minions, the dominions, the principalities, the principal, right? The president. These are demonic fallen angels that have authority over these realms, okay? Because they were existed in the higher planes, but they have authority to operate in the duality of the fourth and fifth dimension, okay? So this is when we're moving into mastery level, and that will be a paid subscription. But when it comes to the basic, the understanding of spirituality, which is for those who are keeping up with me right now, you see that, how that smoke just gets real thick. So for those of you that are keeping up with me right now, selenite is made of water, and I'm sweating a lot, mostly water in this crystal. So me sweating can actually damage my beautiful baby. So I'm going to pick up my agate, because the elements that are in this that make up the physical property of the Arizona agate is a little different, and it won't over time destroy my the crystal here, because it's not dominant in water, right? So anyways, I'm sorry, I get so distracted. I digress. I apologize. Not sorry, but I digress, right? Power in the tongue. So we have the fourth dimension where the spirit realm exists. We are within the fourth and the third dimension because we are physical, protein-based beings operated with the carbon, right, molecule that is the protein, proton, neutron, electron, right? So it corresponds as above, so below. Now you are getting why spiritualists use this thing. Now let's move up into the fifth plane of existence. And this is where Earth, Gaia, is ascending, not in the physical sense, but in the conscious sense, right? Gaia is already connected to source. Gaia already had, to even become this large body, right? Earth, right? Feminine gender, right? The law of gender is also a Hermetic law we'll talk about in our study groups that we have. So hopefully you're seeing what we will be doing in our study groups. But the thing about the study groups is you'll be able to ask questions. I'll see you. You'll see me. We'll get to know each other, right? And so, yeah. Anyways, so for that, fifth plane of existence is where we actually have the divine beings that are not all the way divine as far as being connected with source, the one, but it is in a space where we have the principalities that are given the authority over these lower planes of existence. Okay, so this is where the beings that rule with the energies of the elements, right? It all corresponds as above, so below. The energies of the fifth plane of existence, or the authorities, the dominants that are able to be the dominions of this plane, they operate in with a set of laws, okay, that they're able to manifest in the physical third plane of existence, right? So remember, we're here, protein-based beings in survival mode. We have our animal instinct, right? Our desire to mate, repropriate, have children, but our conscious awareness is evolved to the fourth dimension of spirit, right? So this is the evolution of mankind, right? Homo sapiens, sapiens sapiens, right? We are beings that have evolved. Now, the creators of us, I won't get into that. There's a lot of conspiracy about that, but I have my own beliefs. But this is all science, okay? This is all can be proven. It's nothing. You can't argue these facts. So we have spirit realm where that's the fourth, but we move into the fifth, and then we move into this is governed where the Christ consciousness is. We have our Christ in, okay, so let's see. Kind of want to get, there you go. So in the fifth plane of existence is where we have our higher consciousness beings, the ones that evolved from being humans to being able to become light beings, okay? Light is encrypted with coding and knowledge and information. Okay, so there's a ascension process that the humans have to go through to ascend into becoming a light being, where you can be one of those stars in the sky, or you can be an energy signature, okay? But we have our consciousness of Christ in the fifth dimension, right? We have our Christ consciousness around the world right now in this new age, this age of Aquarius, what we're ushering in. We also have our Buddhas, okay? I talked about Hermetic, the medicine of Buddha. If you guys are ready to start experiencing your astral realm, the astral dreams, or travel in the fifth dimension, Hermetic is a great amplifier of that. That is as above, so below, the correspondent of the element, of the organic, our organic second plane of existence, plant, right? That can tap you into the fifth dimension. Herataki can. Mugsworth can. There's other different, what are they? Second plane existence, or they're dominant. This is their realm and where they exist, but they're placed here in correspondence for a reason and a purpose. It's a divine reason why Buddha, in its time, allegory or whatever, the being of Buddha, which I believe it manifested through the consciousness of the time when Buddha was, there, them tapping into those higher realms, right? So some of these old stories that we have from the Bible or the pantheons, right, of the Abrahamic beliefs. Me and my friend Jalil, we did a video on religion versus spirituality, right? And we kind of talked about the allegorical, like, characteristics or character that exists. Or we probably didn't do that. Maybe we'll do that in part 2. But shout out to you, Jalil. But yeah, so if you're watching it, but yeah, so this is the Thoth energy, right? We go back to ancient Sumerian times or Babylonian times, right? Where we had Thoth, we had in the Orisha or the pantheon, the African voodoo, we have Obatala, okay? So fifth, okay, yes. So these are where those the consciousness of those beings exist in the fifth plane. Now, do you need a physical body to exist to be in the fifth dimension, or the fifth plane of existence? No, you don't. We don't need a physical body to be in the fifth. But your Merkaba, your consciousness, your astral body can definitely travel there, and you can tap in. This is what we're doing when we are evolving our consciousness and awareness. Time changes. Time doesn't exist in the fifth dimension the way it does here on the plane of existence. Okay, so we have the fourth plane of existence where the human beings we have this clock. Time, okay, so let me see. Time is a principality, or not a principality, but it is over time have become something powerful like that. So time was manufactured from the consciousness realm of the sixth plane of existence. We'll get to that eventually. So it has authority over the construct of the fourth plane. Now, people who can see above the veil, right? This is what we're talking about when we have those people born that are able to see above the veil, okay? They're able to tap into making time, move faster or slower. Fifth dimensional conscious beings they have a sense of control over. And as we evolve on universal love law and in these mystery schools that, eventually will be created, this will make more sense to us, right? So then we also have the seventh dimension where source is, and it all corresponds, but it's all one. Well, notice these things are starting to correspond, right? We have the seventh plane of existence being the all, and the lower in density we get to the first plane of existence, we move into a consciousness awareness or a materialization, right, or a manifestation of slower moving molecules that vibrate to a physical where we can see it, and it's heavy and it's dense. Now it corresponds Saturn, ruled by iron, one of the most densest elements from the periodic table, right? We have, not the most. There's some elements that were created from higher planes of existence that make up the planets, and it's so heavy. A man can't even pick it up, and it'll be like this much of it. Billy Carson speaks of that element. I'm not sure what it is. If you know the name of that element, put it in the comments below. But anyways, yeah, so we have the What are we doing? I'm sorry. Fifth dimension is where our consciousness is rising. We're becoming mini Christs right now. We're becoming Obatalas and becoming, well, I don't want to disrespect the Orisha pantheon because that would kind of be disrespectful, okay? But when it comes to those higher advanced beings, right, those Buddhist monks or the ones that are so ascendant that they don't need to have a physical body to be conscious or to exist. They exist in the fifth dimension, right? We have our spirit here. So I'm going to write that in blue. Spirit. Spirit. Okay? Now, different spirits have ranking. There's spirits that are, this is an air realm as well, air and fire realm, okay? So this is why it's so important to understand elements and how to utilize elements to really tap into the fifth dimension. As my mastery skills evolve, I will put out courses in Mystery School for that. But for the time being, let's just get to the surface level of understanding this. Spirit is in the fifth dimension. We're all tapped into the spirit fourth dimension. Excuse me, spirit is the fourth dimension. But the fifth dimension is where the spirits are embodied. Okay, the original spirits. The ancient spirits that we talk about. You go back to ancient Sumerian, Babylonian time, Emerald Tablet. That is Thoth. That is an ancient spirit that exists here in this fifth. So the fourth and fifth is spiritual, very. We are spirits, right? But the veil is right there in between the fifth and the fourth that we are able to tap into as we evolve. After the spirit, we move into our sixth plane of existence, okay? So these are where the first fallen angel, we have, let's put our angels here. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. We're also going to talk about the different angels, okay? There's 9 different angels. We have the seraphim, the cherubim, the dominion, the principality, the angel, archangels. We're going to talk about all that in the study groups. Or maybe I'll bring some of that information to Universal Love Law. But so what this is we have the seventh dimension, seventh plane of existence where angels, some fall. They fall to the sixth dimension. Why? Because Source gave them authority to. There is polarity that exists. The mainframe for polarity exists from the sixth dimension. Okay, so let's put that polarity right here. Right? 1, 2. We got the yin and yang polarity. This is a principality created with the order of Source being allowing it. Demiurge, we have discussed this. Source all created these things, right? So we have, I think my light is kind of shining. That's so, isn't that interesting how the light is shining right on duality? You guys can see I made the yin and yang. That's all I wanted to show you guys. So we see the light is shining on duality, and there's a reason for that because there are no mistakes. So we have the principality of light, that in that light we have duality. Lucifer is an angel of light. Maybe that's Lucifer. I don't want to scare anybody. So we have Lucifer, the light bringer, right? We have the energies of Lucifer. We have the energy of the fallen angels. We have principles. We have higher ranking authority. This is where we get this understanding through the Abrahamic beliefs, right? Judaism, Jewish mysticism, the Muslim Quran, okay? We have the Christianity and Catholicism, okay? So they were tapping into the the understanding of the sixth plane of existence, where there is laws that govern these lower realms, laws that create the structure of time. We have that time clock here, right? Boom. Now there were different and that 360 degree, 360 days in the year. That's what we're supposed to have. There are fallen power that is in control of the fourth and third plane of existence. They have power because they're tapped in tune with these principalities, these energies that were able to put the construct of this fourth and fifth plane of existence. Okay. Okay, I'm giving up a lot of information, but I want to move along to the very last, where this is, of course, the all. I'm going to do that in green. The all. So, yes, we may review this in our study group. Okay, this is all, where all things correspond. All things exist divinely. This is where the divine energy is in the seventh plane. Okay, now if we were to break these up into dimensions, there's so many dimensions. Let's just make it make sense, right? So we all have to agree on these things spiritually, what works for us and what doesn't. So please take what works for you and leave the rest. So I'm going to try to do a sun live today, depending on how I feel, because I do have to go to my other job and wash, and I got to do a lot of stuff. So yeah, let's move this back so I could keep the back screen. There we go. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to upload this video, and I want you guys to tell me what you think about this Hermetic law, the law of correspondence. Now, can you put into perspective what it means to say, as above, so below, as within, so without? I hope this video was able to tap you guys into seeing the picture clear, because that's what I'm here to do. Okay, and my consciousness is in a plane where I can see these things, right? I can see the laws. My 12th house has Saturn. 12th house is all things non-physical, the dream space, the conscious awareness, the collective consciousness, our deep shadow aspects. Me having Saturn here, I have a very important responsibility to bring forth the information. And if I do it without an ego, and if my ego comes through, I'll tell you guys, then I will have authority, because I'm operating in the highest form of all. I'm connecting to that all, that source. This doesn't make me better than anybody. This is my purpose. Do you understand? So this is why when we wake up into our purpose, we're able to tap into our astrology, our numerology. We're able to truly understand what we're here to do. And I'm here to educate people and make sense of this complex higher learning. My son is in the 9th house. This is why I really want to do the sun through the houses today. I wanted to do it on a Sunday because, Sunday's ruled by the sun, which was yesterday, but I don't even know what happened. It was too early. There's still a lot of stuff going on. But, but my son being there, it gives me my light is shining in the area of higher learning. So, yeah, I'm learning. In my regular life, I teach children, okay? And mothers and fathers. I teach families, parents. I do parenting class. I do kid interactive classes. And I'm advancing and I'm growing in that realm of reality. Because let me tell you this. As above, so below. So whatever you're tapped into, you got to understand. You cannot. People that are spiritual, the reason why they lose their identity and become cuckoo crazy, right? We see a lot of those people on YouTube. It's because they don't, whatever you attend, where attention goes, energy flows, and it'll grow and grow and grow. Okay, so you must be mindful of what you're putting inside of your consciousness. Anybody that is watching this video and made it to the end, thank you first and foremost. I hope you were able to unlock some things within yourself to further your study, because you have a purpose too. Okay, people attract to me for a reason. We're trying to ascend into higher consciousness, and if you meet people like me, gatekeepers, or people who have authority over certain abilities to make elementary sense of this, then you're on your path, right, to that evolution. Age doesn't matter. It's not about age. It's about when the spirit is called to these things, right? So yeah, my sun being in the ninth house gives me and my Mars. So my will is to learn. I'm a student first, right? When the student is ready, the teacher shall appear. And I learn as I teach, because here it is, all this information jumbled in my head, and now I have to get it out, right? You cannot hoard information. This is what makes people crazy. There's the famous chess player. Look him up. I just watched a documentary yesterday. The best chess player in the world went insane. Why do you think? Because he held the secrets to understanding and unlocking every winning move in the game of chess. He was unbeatable. He kept all that knowledge inside, and it drove him crazy. So you have to release energy, okay? You have to allow the law of rhythm to flow, right? So we'll talk about that in the study group. But the law of correspondence is very self-explanatory, right? We're able to make sense of this. That is so loud. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry, because that is going to irritate me. They love to just come around here when I'm in the middle of my video with my universal love lawmakers. So I feel really good about this study group. I just ask, my guides, my angels, and the universe to allow me to fulfill my purpose in this age of Aquarius, which is to bring enlightenment on information that has already been here. Okay? There's nothing new under the sun. It's just an awakening age where we're aware, and there's going to be a lot of enlightenment. Okay? This is a part of what we came here to do. Okay? We all, each one teach one. We're all a part of this grand mission, and I'm so grateful to be able to share my knowledge with you guys. And I'm, like I say, the 12th house Saturn has given me a responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. I have to operate with integrity. This is why you're always going to see me. I'm Saturn dominant, okay? But this is why you're going to see me always acknowledge the ego. Because we're not operating on sun and light. We're operating with slower moving, solid, old school energy, right? Saturn energy. I have authority in the realm of the unknown because I discipline myself, and it does not come easy. This is a lonely road. It's hard because, I'm always in solitude. Everything has been taken from me. I've lost so much. But don't pity me, because I agreed to this. Life was going to force its way on me anyways, but I want to go with the flow. I don't want to make my life harder. I don't want to chase things that are not for me, because I want to get what, I want to get what I came here to get. And, I'm evolving to eventually moving into these higher realms to serve as a guide, to serve as an angel. This is what we're here to do. Do you understand? This is the game of evolution. It's the name of the game, life and death, the cycle. Okay? Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments below. I will let you guys know you'll see I'll make the sign up for the study group. If you want to join it, just click the link, fill out the information. I'll send you the information. Also, I'm gonna get it to where I could hopefully I could record them. So anyone who did not could not attend but signed up could still see the video. So yeah. So it's going to be for those who are chosen and who really want to understand this knowledge and make it make sense. There's the law of polarity, which is my favorite. It's where we deal with duality, polarity. Okay, it's a universal law because it controls these confines. Okay, and there's the law of gender. Okay, as we evolve into higher realm, there's hermaphrodite. This is why people don't understand what's coming and birthing into this planet. If we understand spirituality, we would not put all of these labels in a negative, condescending, due to religion and a lot of other things, patriarchy, on people who are born with, who like men who like men, or women who like women, or people who are trying to change their gender. I do believe that it's something that that has its own. I'm not going to get into that, but for the people who are maybe gay or whatever you're into, let me know if you want me to make a video, because I'm here to help people, to enlighten them on things that we really got to get out of these old ways of thinking. Okay, and so yeah, the higher the energies, there's, both gender. And there's not even the same animalistic, primal, fourth plane of existence kind of consciousness, or third plane protein based beings that are immortal, right? Because then we move up above to the fifth, we do move into, mortal. Have I been saying the word wrong? The mortal beings are in these. Everything dies here, but immortality exists past within the fifth and sixth and so on. But there is still an element of death that exists as well, because death is something that happens to even light beings, stars, supernovas, right? They blow up, and that's happening right now too. I believe an Orion constellation, there is a star that is about to combust. It's on its way to a higher consciousness. So even the planets eventually die, right? But it's never an ultimate death. There's just a rebirth. But premortal energy is powerful. That might be in my master class, because some things are sacred and you can't really just share things that you're not privy to. That I have awareness of premortal energy, but to unlock that, it takes more time, and it will be sacred. So just so you know, I hope you guys are good wherever you are. I don't want to keep this video going and going and going and going and going, because I can, but I don't want to do that. I got to get ready. I got to get out this house. I got to clean up. I got to let this video load. I got so much to do. But I hope you guys know that wherever you are in your journey, everything is a process. Please don't be out there being super hard on yourself. And if you are, understand that, there's an opposite to how you feel, and the power exists within your mind. I'm going to talk about negative thought forms so people can, I'm getting very metaphysical. I'm moving out of my astrology talk a lot, even though I'm promising astrology, because people love to hear my astrology talk. But my videos were created from metaphysical talk, original. So you always start where you always end where you start. It's a cycle of ascension or descension, okay? I started in spiritual consciousness, and that's how it's going to always be. But the tools I utilize to help people unlock themselves are astrology, okay? But I just want to let you guys know that I'm human too. I'm not perfect. I have my own problems in life. I have my own flaws in life. I have demons and thought forms that, whisper in my ear. And I am banishing that energy. I am controlling myself. And this is a process. So I want you to know that as I grow and evolve, I want this group to do that too. We're middle hand path people because that's the energy. But well, you are what you are. But I think I attract a lot of middle hand people that understand the left and people that understand the right. You know, um, and people that just don't judge it. We're objective thinkers, okay? People want to be spiritual to become these egomanias that they are wanting to get worship. Look at the three God, nature boy dude. These are people who utilize the gifts or their conscious awareness to play on other people, and they're miserable, right? They're bounded with the principality of misery, which is an energy that is going to attach itself to anyone who's a vibrational match to it. So if they're operating in ego and their misery energy, then they're going to have people doing things because they want power. So knowledge in the wrong hands can be wrong. Just like they say money is evil in the Bible. They have completely, well, the Bible actually says that the love of money is evil, okay? Because it create hell, right? Hell realm. If you are doing things that you don't like to do for money, then you are agreeing to a sin, a wickedness, which is the love of money. So that, and if you understand the principle of money, that is actually governed by a demon. A lot of people don't know that. Money is just a physical thing that I'm gonna get into that later. I'm getting drifted off, but I don't even know why I said all this. I just want to share information to you. Oh yeah, to let you know I'm human. Don't deify me. Don't agree with everything I say. Challenge some of the things, not to me, but to yourself, because I challenge what I hear other people say, especially these big time ego spiritualists on YouTube. I really see what they're doing, and I don't want to get that way ever. I want to always check myself at the door, right, before I even walk in to present. I'm not trying to be this holier than thou perfection. I'm trying to be the perfect version of who I am, and that is objective, right? Detached. I'm just here to ascend, fulfill my mission, do the work, and evolve, right? Like we all are. So I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning into Universal Love.